Alright, in this section we're going to talk about interest. Okay, some terms that you need to know. Of course, what is interest? It's what the bank or the institution or whoever charges for using their money. The rate is the percent. The principal is the amount of money that you borrow or invest or whatever. And the time is the amount in years. Now, the equation for simple interest, which is what we're talking about, and which is typically what we talk about when we're looking in elementary school, is the formula I equals PRT. I represents interest, P is principal, R is the rate as a decimal, and T is the time in years. Now, what you need to think about is that 7th and 8th grade students will typically, they do something called Reality Store. And Reality Store, they have to do some calculations, and it's a real world thing. They buy a car, they buy furniture, they do things on time. And making sure that they understand the whole concept of simple interest is a really important one. Alright, let's take a look at this first problem. It says, we're going to go to the bank and we're going to get a loan. It's high interest rate here at 9%. Simple interest for 1 year. Okay, so basically I have interest equals principal times rate times time. Alright, so all I do is convert those things. I want to know how much I'm going to pay back. So the first thing I have to do is find the interest. So the principal is $5,000. And I'm going to multiply it times the rate as a decimal. So remember that 9%, move 2 to the left to make a decimal. So that's 0.09. And then 1 year. Okay, it's time in years. So if I multiply that, now 9 times 5 is 45. So all we have to worry about then is where the decimal point goes. So it's actually 0.09 times 5,000. And that would be 450. So the interest that I'm going to pay on this in 1 year is $450. Now, how much am I going to pay the bank back? Well, the amount that I'm going to pay back will equal the interest plus the principal. Alright, so the amount is the interest, which is $450, plus the $5,000. So when I add those, I get $5,450 that I'm going to be paying back on this $5,000 loan at 9% interest. Alright, now let's look at something that we might typically see in a savings account. Alright, 5.25% interest on a $2,000 deposit. And I want to know what the interest and total amount is for 90 days. Now, I have interest equals principal times rate times time in years. Now, this is the trick on this one. Okay, the principal is $2,000. Okay, the interest rate is 5 1/4. So that actually is 5.25%. So then I would move that decimal 2 to the left. So it's really 0.0525. Okay, now time in years. So for 90 days out of 365 days. Okay, so I can go ahead and divide that if I want to. 90 divided by 365. So that would represent 0.25 of a year. I rounded it to the nearest cent. Okay, or the nearest hundredth. Alright, now this is what I'm going to multiply on my calculator then. Okay, so that I have 2,000 times 0.0525 times 0.25, and I get $26.25. Okay, so basically this is saying that if I deposit $2,000 in a savings account and it draws interest at 5.25, simple interest, and I want to know how much interest I'm going to get after 90 days. So basically this tells me I'm going to get $26.25 interest. So that if I were looking at that from the perspective of now how much money at the end of 90 days do I have, so that would be 2,000 plus 26.25. So now in my bank account I have $2,026.25. Okay, again I add my principal to my interest, and that gets the amount that I have.